Okay, so hi to our Makati Science High School students. Let's try to continue answering the problems that we have for our lesson 6 and lesson 7. Area and perimeter of 2D figures and surface area and volume of 3D figures. In the diagram below, A, B, and C are three corners of a rectangular solid. What is the measurement of angle ABC? We have two givens for this problem. First one, all edges of the rectangular solid are equal. And the second one, the sum of the lengths of all of the edges of the solid is equal to 24. Now, both of these evidences will be treated as different versions of the problem. So let's try with the first version, with the given being that all edges of the rectangular solid being equal to each other. Now, where is angle ABC in this problem? So it happens to be here. So this is the angle that we're trying to look for. What's the measurement of this angle? Now, according to this problem, all edges of the rectangular solid are equal. Now, if all of the edges of the rectangular solid are equal, what would be that type of solid? Would that be a cuboid or a cube? Now, we know that a cube has square faces, and we all know that squares are the only 2D figures that have equal side measurements for quadrilaterals. So therefore, most likely this figure is a cube. Okay, so if this figure is a cube, if this rectangular solid is a cube, we can denote that this side measurement here would be x, and this would be x. Since this is a cube, it should have a right angle over here since it has a square face. And to find the measurement of its diagonal, so the diagonal here would be x squared, right? So that should give us x squared plus x squared, and that should give us ac squared using the Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So that should give us 2x squared is equal to ac squared. And if we take the square root, if we take the square root of both sides, so therefore ac must be equal to x squared of 2 for this one. So therefore our diagonal here, it measures x squared of 2 using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So according to this problem, all of the edges of the rectangular solid are equal. Now, if this is x, this should be x, and this should also be x. Therefore, this diagonal over here, we can conclude that this line segment over here, that's x squared of 2. We can also conclude that AB here is also x squared of 2. Now, if all of the side measurements of triangle ABC are x squared of 2, therefore, what type of triangle is ABC? Is it a scalene triangle, an obtuse triangle, an equiangular triangle, an equilateral triangle? So based from our givens, all of their side measurements are the same. And what type of triangle has side measurements that have equal side measurements? All of their side measurements are all equal. So therefore, that triangle would most likely be an equilateral triangle. And we all know that in an equilateral triangle, all of the angles are also the same. So therefore, this equilateral triangle is also equiangular. And if it's equiangular, therefore we will know the measurement of angle ABC, the one that we're looking for this problem. So therefore, the measurement of angle ABC for an equiangular triangle, all of the angles measure 60 degrees. So therefore, we know that the measurement of angle ABC is just equal to 60 degrees. And that solves the problem. So if you try to look at it from a different perspective, so there were no given numerical values, but we were able to solve this problem even without numerical values for the first given. Let's try to examine the second given. The sum of the lengths of all of the edges of the solid is 24. Now, since this is a cube, or a cuboid, or rectangular solid, we know that the number of edges in a rectangular solid are 12. Okay, since we know that there are 12 edges and the sum of the lengths of all of the edges is 24. We can divide 24 by 12, therefore securing the value of 2 as the side measurement of our cube. Okay, therefore the side measurement of our cube is 2 units. Okay, then after that, what do we do? Okay, so since we know the side measurement of the cube, that's the only thing that we can find, that we can conclude based from the statement that we have here. We cannot conclude that the measurement of angle ABC would be 60 degrees as well just by looking at the side measurement. Because if we apply here 2 and 2, so that should give us 4 square root of 2 as, that should give us 2 square root of 2 as the diagonal. Okay, and but that would be implying too much. Okay, so maybe we could also conclude that since this is a 2 square root of 2 by a 2 square root of 2 by a 2 square root of 2 triangle, it could also be concluded that all of their angle measurements would be 60 degrees. Okay, so therefore evidence number 2 is also a sufficient evidence for us to conclude that the measurement of angle ABC is 60 degrees. But without any assumptions, the first statement would be the best or the better statement out of the two statements, since we didn't create that many assumptions. But for this problem, both evidences or both givens lead to an answer of angle ABC having an angle measurement of 60 degrees. And that's how we can solve this problem.